We welcome you to our meaningful meditation for this last Sunday, if you can believe it, of September 24th, as we will be wrapping up our series on community, thinking about the ways in which we care about those around us here at the church and beyond the walls of the church. We're trying to hang on to summer with some of our beautiful flowers that are still blooming here at the end of summer, and just want to thank everybody that made it possible for us to have a great summer here at the church with our garden walk back in June. We just had our all church retreat last weekend, and just many wonderful memories of this summer. So thank you for giving of your time and your resources, those of you here at the church, to help us to be the kind of community that can care not only about ourselves, but for all those here in the Rochester Hills area, and the ways that we can reach out to people around the world. This Sunday, our text comes from the Old Testament. We're thinking about good old Jonah. Jonah's one of my absolute favorite characters in the Bible. He just has so much personality, so much humanness, very honest about what he wants to do and what he doesn't want to do. And this passage that we're looking at is kind of at the end of the story, in which the people have turned around. They are repenting of their sin, and God is saying, they are forgiven and saved, and Jonah doesn't want to hear it. He thinks that these people are just not really as good as him, and they don't deserve God's mercy. And so there's a whole conversation all about Jonah and the ways in which God is trying to teach him to think about that he wants mercy in his life, but not necessarily for God to extend that mercy to other people. And so that's really what we'll be thinking about, is how it's easy for us to think about the ways that God is generous towards us, but do we also want that same kind of forgiveness for other people and generosity of spirit? So think about the many days when I am walking through the park and I see the kids playing in the playground, and there's kind of a friction because someone butts in line or someone takes someone else's toy, and it's this whole problem and issue of life not being fair. And it happens as kids, and it also continues into adulthood as a conversation that we have. And that's really the struggle that Jonah is having as well. So I think there'll be many things that you can relate to as we think about Jonah and his life coming up this Sunday. And that's our 10 o'clock service. And then we always have our live stream available as well. Also, this Sunday at 5 o'clock, we will have a church-wide potluck. And so bring your favorite dish to share. All of the paper products and beverages will be provided. And then after we have our great dinner together, we will head into the sanctuary for a hymn sing, so you can shout out those numbers and songs that you would love to sing together. We'll also be introducing some new songs as well, so it'll be a great time to come and have some fellowship. And then looking ahead to October, yes, October 1st is Worldwide Communion Sunday, and so we will have a special service as we think about all of our siblings around the world who will be partaking in the Lord's Supper together on October 1st. We'll have a special fellowship time afterwards with some breads and spreads brought to us by our worship and music committee. So that will be an amazing day together. The following Sunday, just note this on your calendar, October 8th, we will have our first adult education forum for this school year. It'll be right after the service in Fellowship Hall during our coffee time when we're enjoying our snacks together. We have a special speaker coming to meet with us in person, and his name is Drew Rick Miller, and he is the co-director of Science and the Church, and he'll be talking about how those two worlds come together, specifically thinking about mental health as well. So it'll be a very helpful time for us to be learning more, and then also thinking about how we can take what we're learning at this seminar out into our daily lives during the week. So please note that on your calendar, October 8th, and that'll be right after the worship service, as we have time together for our adult forum, which this year we are calling Enliven, thinking about how our education and the ways in which we are learning help to enliven our lives and those with whom we interact. So many things coming up, and grateful for your time as we look forward to this next season of fall here at University Presbyterian Church. So blessings and peace for your journey. Amen.